never thought my life would flip upside down because of a stupid gym bag. Not even my bag, mind you. Hers. My wife Rachel's. It was a Thursday morning when the universe decided to throw my whole marriage under the bus. Rachel yelled down the stairs while I was making coffee. "Babe, can you toss my gym bag in the car? I'm running late." "Sure, no problem." That's the kind of husband I was, always the helpful one. So I grabbed the purple duffel sitting by the hallway closet. But when I went to zip it closed, something slid halfway out. At first glance, I thought it was just one of those big foam rollers for sore muscles. Nope. This was no roller. This was a shiny black leather belt with cuffs on the ends. Not for Pilates, not for stretching. My stomach dropped. I froze in the doorway, gripping that thing like it was a live grenade. See, Rachel and I hadn't touched anything remotely kinky in years. Not since before she started working at that consulting firm downtown with her new boss, Mark. The late nights. The new wardrobe. The way she had started laughing at texts when she thought I wasn't looking. It all made sense in a flash. I didn't storm upstairs. Didn't scream at her. Didn't demand answers. I just zipped the bag shut, walked outside, and gently placed it in the back seat of her SUV like nothing had happened. But my hands were shaking. Not from anger. From the clarity. That sharp, blinding clarity you only get when the last puzzle piece clicks into place. I wasn't going to confront her. No, that's what she expected. She expected me to be the clueless, hard-working husband who fixed HVAC units all day, came home sweaty, cracked a beer, and kept his mouth shut. But not today. Instead, I walked back inside, grabbed the jar of Carolina Reaper pepper paste I used when my buddies dared each other during football nights, and went back to her car. I opened the gym bag again, pulled out one particular leather strap with a shiny buckle, and I painted it. Carefully, thoroughly, every inch. The stuff was so hot it made my eyes water just from the smell. I put it back exactly where I'd found it. Then I waited. Rachel came downstairs 5 minutes later, heels clicking against the hardwood, hair curled like she was on her way to a photo shoot instead of a staff meeting. "Thanks, babe," she said, kissing me on the cheek so lightly it barely counted. "Don't wait up tonight." Late session with a client. Client my ass. I smiled at her like the picture of supportive husbandry. "Sure thing. Have a productive workout." She drove off in her SUV, leaving a faint cloud of expensive perfume in the air. I poured myself a strong coffee, sat at the kitchen table, and checked the clock. I didn't even turn on the TV. I wanted silence so I could savor what was coming. It took 2 hours and 34 minutes. The screaming hit me before the car even pulled into the driveway. A man's voice first, deep, panicked, cracking. Then Rachel's, higher-pitched, almost animalistic. The kind of screaming that makes the neighbors peek through blinds. I opened the front door just as Rachel stumbled out of the SUV, clutching her thighs like she'd been attacked by hornets. Mark followed, shirt halfway unbuttoned, face red, hopping from foot to foot like the pavement was on fire. "Water! For God's sake, water!" he bellowed. Rachel shrieked something unintelligible, then doubled over on the hood of her car, groaning like she was giving birth. I stepped onto the porch with the calmest face I could muster, holding a glass of ice water. "Everything all right out here?" The look on Mark's face was priceless. He was sweating, shaking, trying to form words while clutching himself. His $1,000 slacks were wrinkled, his fancy watch askew. Rachel grabbed the water from me and poured it straight down her blouse, which only made her shriek louder. Mrs. Turner from next door was already outside, pretending to water her plants. Mr. Gomez across the street leaned against his mailbox like it was halftime at the Super Bowl. By the time the Henderson kids rolled by on their bikes, the whole block was watching. "Tom, call an ambulance." Rachel gasped. "For what?" I asked, sipping my coffee. "Workout injury?" Her face twisted. She knew. She knew I knew. And she knew the neighbors knew too. Mark tried to regain control, but he looked like he was dancing barefoot on hot coals. "Look, man, it's not what it looks like." I laughed. Couldn't help it. "Oh, Mark, it looks exactly like what it is. You two just had a hands-on session with some extremely spicy workout equipment. Must have been one hell of a client meeting." Mrs. Turner let out an audible gasp. Mr. Gomez chuckled. Rachel's face went crimson, not just from the burn, but from humiliation. Tom, inside. "We need to talk," Rachel hissed through gritted teeth. "Oh, I don't think so," I said. "This is the most entertaining fitness class I've ever seen." "Please continue." Mark made his second mistake right then. His first was screwing my wife. The second was trying to talk his way out of it in my driveway. "Tom, buddy, you don't understand. Rachel and I, we care about each other. We didn't mean for it to happen like this." The neighbors collectively inhaled. That little sentence hit the block like a fire alarm. Rachel looked at him like he'd just confessed to arson. "Mark," she hissed. "What?" He snapped back, wincing as he adjusted his belt line. He was going to find out anyway. I smiled so wide it hurt. Well, I'm glad we're all being honest now. Nothing like a little transparency in relationships. And apparently in driveways. Rachel's eyes were darting from house to house, realizing every pair of curtains on the street was twitching. The gossip train had already left the station. "Tom, please," she begged. "Let's just talk inside. This isn't what it looks like." "Not what it looks like?" I said. "So you weren't just rolling around in my car with your boss playing 50 Shades of Hot Sauce while the whole neighborhood watches?" Mrs. Turner had now brought out a folding chair. Mr. Gomez was filming with his phone. Rachel was breaking, I could see it. Her voice cracked. "Tom, you're making a scene." "I'm making a scene?" I barked out a laugh. "Rachel, I'm standing here drinking coffee. You and Loverboy are the ones making a scene. A very loud, very spicy one." Mark tried again, voice shaking. "Look, Tom, marriages change. People grow apart. We should handle this like adults." I stepped down off the porch, slow and deliberate. He actually backed up. "Adults, Mark? Adults don't sneak around with their employees' wives. Adults don't use another man's car as their playground. And adults definitely don't rub ghost pepper into places God never intended." The crowd howled. Even Mr. Gomez nearly dropped his phone. Rachel's mascara was running now, her face wet with sweat and tears. "Tom, I love you," she whispered, desperate. I didn't mean for this to happen. And that right there, that was the moment. The one I'll remember forever. My wife of 12 years, half-dressed, humiliated, begging me to let her save face while her boss squirmed next to her. I could have screamed, could have cursed, could have broken things. But instead, I just smiled, raised my coffee cup and said, "Rachel, sweetheart, you humiliated yourself. I just provided the seasoning." Then I walked back into my house and locked the door behind me, leaving her and Mark standing there under the judgment of the entire neighborhood. That was the end of the opening act. I thought the climax was over, that I'd had my revenge. But I was dead wrong. What came next made the driveway circus look like child's play. Because the fallout, the fallout was just beginning. The next morning, my phone was a war zone. 17 missed calls, 40-something text messages, half from Rachel, the other half from numbers I didn't recognize. Her first text at 11:43 p.m. "Tom, please pick up. We need to talk like adults." Her last at 4:15 a.m. "You ruined me in front of everyone. I can't believe you could be so cruel." Cruel. That was rich. Coming from the woman who spent the last 3 months sneaking around with her boss while I was busting my back fixing air conditioners in 100-degree attics. I brewed a pot of coffee, sat on the porch and scrolled through them one by one. The tone went from begging to furious to pathetic, like she was spinning a roulette wheel of emotions. I didn't reply to a single one. By 9 a.m., the voicemail started rolling in. "Hey Tom, this is Mrs. Turner. I just wanted you to know I'm praying for you. Also, thank you for last night's entertainment. This is Channel 6 News. We heard about an incident in your neighborhood. Can we get a comment?" Delete. And then one that made my stomach clench. "Hi, this is Anna Williams. I'm Mark's wife. I think we should talk." I didn't even finish my coffee. I called her back immediately. "Anna, this is Tom. Thank you for calling. I think we need to compare notes." Her voice was steady, but I could hear the tightness underneath. The controlled calm of someone who'd had the rug pulled out from under them before. We agreed to meet at a little diner off Main Street. Neutral ground. Anna Williams was nothing like Rachel described. Tall, graceful, with that polished look you only see on women who know their worth. She was sipping black coffee when I arrived, her nails clicking against the mug as she tapped. "Tom." She stood to shake my hand. "I appreciate you coming." I sat. "I think your husband and my wife appreciate each other a little too much." For the first time, she cracked a smile. A small one, but real. I'd say that's an understatement. Mark came home last night smelling like, I don't know, like hot peppers. Said he had food poisoning at a conference. Close enough, I said. She tilted her head, studying me. So you're the one who spiced things up. I laughed in spite of myself. Guilty. And just like that, the ice cracked. We compared timelines, receipts, excuses. Every late night she'd been told was work matched the nights Rachel claimed she was at a client dinner. The lingerie charges, the Marriott bookings, it all lined up like dominoes. I filed for divorce this morning, Anna said, sliding her mug away. This isn't Mark's first affair. Just the first time he got burned, literally. I blinked. Already? Already. I'm done wasting years on someone who doesn't know loyalty if it smacked him in the face with a leather belt. The image almost made me spit my coffee. What about you? She asked, leaning forward. What are you going to do? I hadn't thought that far ahead. Last night was pure adrenaline, revenge served hot. But now the dust was settling and the question loomed heavy. Did I want Rachel back? Did I want to burn the whole thing down? I don't know yet, I admitted. But she's not walking back into my house like nothing happened. Anna nodded slowly like she respected that. Good. Don't give her that power. We sat there a while longer, two strangers bonded by betrayal, sipping coffee like war veterans swapping stories. By the time we parted ways, I had a strange sense of relief. I wasn't crazy. I hadn't imagined the distance, the late nights, the lies. It was all real. And now it was exposed. When I got home, Rachel's car was in the driveway. She was sitting on the porch steps, sunglasses on, hair messy, face pale. She jumped up when she saw me. Tom, please, we need to talk. I walked past her, unlocked the door, and went inside. She followed like a stray cat. Last night was a mistake. She started, voice shaky. I don't even know what came over me. It's not what you think. Stop. I held up my hand. Don't insult me with that line. It's exactly what I think. She flinched, biting her lip. Okay, yes, I screwed up. But we can fix this. Please, don't throw away 12 years. 12 years? I laughed bitterly. Rachel, you threw them away the second you brought him into our lives. Into our car? Into our bed when you thought I wouldn't notice the perfume on the sheets. Her face crumbled. I love you, Tom, I swear I do. It wasn't about replacing you. It was just exciting, different. My voice cracked, sharp enough to make her flinch again. Different than what? Than a husband who pays the bills? Than someone who comes home exhausted but still fixes the leaky faucet at midnight? Different than a man who's never once laid a hand on you in anger? Tears streamed down her face now. I didn't mean, yes you did, I cut in. You meant every damn minute you spent sneaking around. Every hotel room. Every lie. And now you want me to forgive you because the neighborhood saw what you really are. Her sobs filled the living room. She reached for my hand, but I pulled back like her touch was acid. Tom, please. We can go to counseling. No, Rachel. My voice was ice. We can't. You had your fun. Now you can have the consequences. That's when the banging started. At the door. Hard, loud, urgent. Rachel froze. I opened it. Mark stood there, pale as chalk, eyes bloodshot. He looked like a man on the edge of collapse. Tom, we need to talk, he croaked. Wrong house, I said, and slammed the door in his face. He banged again, voice rising. Rachel, please. I need you. Rachel's eyes darted to mine, full of guilt and panic. Tom, let me just... Don't even think about it, I snapped. The banging stopped. After a few minutes, the sound of his car peeling away echoed down the street. Rachel sank onto the couch, trembling. Tom, what are we going to do? I stared at her, really stared. And for the first time, I saw her not as my wife, not as the woman I'd built a life with, but as a stranger. A stranger who had detonated a bomb in the middle of my life and expected me to help clean up the shrapnel. What we're going to do? I said slowly. Nothing. You're going to pack your things, and then you're going to leave. She sobbed harder, clinging to the cushion like it was a lifeline. You can't mean that. I've never meant anything more. By the weekend, she was gone. The neighborhood never let her live it down. Every barbecue, every block party, people whispered about the spicy conference in Tom's driveway. Mrs. Turner even nicknamed her Ghost Pepper Rachel. And me? I was free. The papers came a month later. She tried to fight for the house, for the car, even for alimony. But thanks to Anna, sweet, brilliant Anna, who provided me with every email, every receipt, every proof of the affair, Rachel didn't get a dime more than she deserved. When the judge asked if there was irreconcilable damage to the marriage, I almost laughed. Your Honor, the damage was Carolina Reaper levels. The courtroom chuckled. Rachel glared daggers at me, but her power was gone. As for Mark, word spread fast in his company. Humiliation like that doesn't stay quiet. He lost a promotion, then the respect of his colleagues, and eventually his job. Last I heard, he was managing a car lot 3 towns over. And Anna? Well, let's just say we kept in touch. Coffee turned into lunches. Lunches into dinners. And dinners? But that's another story. Looking back, I realize revenge doesn't always come from screaming, or throwing things, or fists flying. Sometimes the best revenge is quiet, measured, served with a smile and a sprinkle of Carolina Reaper. Rachel once told me she wanted more excitement in her life. Well, I gave it to her, and she'll never forget the burn.